We start with two breaking news stories here at noon. I'm Lauren Scafidi. I-70 near Lookout Mountain is still closed down. We'll get to that in a moment, but first, 2 children have been killed and 17 other people are now hurt after a person opened fire during a Catholic mass full of school children in Minneapolis. The person believed to be the shooter is also dead. The Minneapolis police chief says the shooter came to the side of the church and shot through windows toward the children sitting in the pews. The chief also confirmed the 2 children killed were ages 8 and 10. Of the people injured, police say 14 of them were students, and 2 of them are in critical condition. One hospital in the city says it's caring for victims, and it says it has 1 adult in critical condition.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground.
The police chief told reporters that the shooter came armed with a rifle, a shotgun, a handgun, and improvised explosives. Law enforcement tells our sister station in Minneapolis that the shooter was identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman, whose mother had worked at that school before. He did not have a significant criminal record. A pair of semi-truck leaks is causing headaches for drivers along I-70 near the Lookout Mountain exit. To make traffic even more difficult, CDOT also closed 2 miles of Highway 40 as they worked on that problem. 9 News reporter Jeremy Hahola is live near the shutdown. Jeremy, what are you seeing now?
Yeah, traffic backing up here is an absolute disaster at this portion of I-70, which has been shut down since about 8:30 this morning. You can see the vehicles exiting off of here because of the closure. Then you can see some semis on the other side parked, just waiting for everything to open up. Colorado State Patrol anticipates this should open up maybe sometime early this afternoon, later this afternoon, who knows? We have video from Sky 9 showing people in protective gear examining a semi with a tank. This is one of 2 separate hazmat situations causing this mess. The first one here is a semi leaking hydrochloric acid, which is of course a chemical used for industrial purposes, highly corrosive, not good when it gets into the ground and water. The leak of this acid also has prompted the shutdown of Bear Creek Park because it worries the acid of getting into the ground and then into the water. And then on top of that, not long after this incident, a second truck just off of I-70 on Grapevine Road started to leak fuel after the driver turned and then tipped over. So 2 leaks in the same area. Murphy's Law certainly at play here. Traffic backups continue, and there are now reports semis are starting to clog up a road known as Lariat Loop. That's also causing more problems here. So if you need to make your way out here to the mountains today, ignore this area. If you have to come out here, pack a lunch, maybe 2, maybe pack dinner, because it is a mess out here. Back to you.
Yeah, Jeremy, it looks like the cars moving behind you are moving very, very slowly. Can you see the end of traffic from where you're standing?
Not where we're standing. I mean, it's clear people think they could make their way through I-70 or maybe try to get on Highway 40. As you said, both of those roads are closed down because of this hazmat situation. I think it's just going to be just constant, frustrations and horn honking like that for the next few hours. Back to you.
Oh yeah, we could hear it. Thank you so much for that live report, Jeremy. New at noon. Ames Community College has been given the all clear to resume classes after students and staff had to evacuate earlier today. At this time, it's not clear what caused the evacuation. However, officials called it an external situation. It has been one foggy morning. There's been such a visibility problem. There's been a ground delay for flights coming into DIA. The skies really cleared up and that ground delay is now over. Here's how it looks over downtown right now. We're supposed to get some more rain today. And what's the timing for that, Chris?
Yeah, likely over the next few hours here, Lauren, between 3 and 8 p.m. That'll be the main time window for those storms. Meantime, you mentioned that sun coming out. You can see it here in Lyman as well as in downtown Denver. Just a fair bit of that sunny sky. And it's also still very muggy for us outside right now. You can kind of air you can wear. You step outside right now, and it's that kind of soupy feel to things. We're in the low to mid 70s. Today, we top out at 79, but it's going to be a muggy 79 with storms between 3 and 8 p.m. More clouds and sun. In fact, starting to see some of those shower storms flaring on up for us here in the foothills, as well as into the mountains. A few rumbles of thunder, including by Meeker. That is significant because, of course, right near there is the burn scar from the Lee fire and the Elk fires, and so burn scar flooding possible around Meeker. Just keep that in mind. Otherwise, we'll see those showers and storms move their way into the metro area over the next couple of hours, and between about 5 and 6 p.m., that'll be the main time window for those storms for us here across the I-25 corridor. We'll get into more detail on all of this, as well as a look at that full 7-day outlook in just a couple minutes.
Chris, thank you so much. Colorado's special session is now over. It ended yesterday after 6 days, but the nearly $800 million budget hole isn't filled just yet. Legislators didn't make any cuts in that time. Governor Polis is expected to do it. More on that in a second. Lawmakers did pass 5 bills that will close some tax loopholes to bring in 1/3 of the revenue the state needs. They passed 6 other bills as well that are aimed at offsetting the impacts of the federal budget bill signed in July. Governor Polis is expected to present a spending reduction plan to the Joint Budget Committee tomorrow afternoon to cover another third of the budget shortfall. The state's general fund reserve will cover the last third. Also, during the special session, lawmakers decided to pause the debate on regulating artificial intelligence in Colorado until the regular session that starts in January. New AI rules for the tech industry are set to start in February, but Democrats pushed the implementation until June 2026. There are concerns whether tech companies should be liable for discrimination by AI they use. Artificial intelligence will be used in Denver public school classrooms this year. The district started some thoughtful experimentation last year, and this year, kids from kindergarten to 12th grade will use it. One of the tools they're using is Magic School Classroom. Teachers create their own custom rooms in the program, and then they're able to see every interaction students have with the chatbot. Teachers can pause the room if they need to and reroute off-topic conversations. One elementary student says she likes it so far.
It's really helpful, and it's also fun, too. It can do really cool things that sometimes our brains can't do. Or sometimes it's harder to do for our brains.
DPS says they combat challenges like plagiarism with AI literacy, so students understand how the tech they're using works. Unfortunately, a new report from the State Department of Education shows a drop in daily attendance and more cases of chronic absences last school year. They were just slight changes from the previous year, but schools all across the state spent last year pushing parents and kids to improve attendance. But the state average daily attendance rate was still just over 91%. And 60% of school districts saw better attendance rates and drops in chronic absenteeism last year.